Hey there, it's Teresa here. Hi, I'm Teresa Youngkin. I'm a healthcare informaticist, and you will find me here each week talking about generative AI and healthcare. What an informaticist does is we bridge that gap between the technology side of the business and the operations side of the business, making sure that we create products for our customers that are the best that they can be. Our customers in healthcare are our patients and our members. So, let's talk about the crazy season. We have just gotten back from Vive, headed to HIMSS, and it has just been a whirlwind, like I said, of just conference after conference after conference going on. And unfortunately, this year I can't go to HIMSS. I've got a previous family obligation that I need to attend to. But as I was thinking about it and why I had such a sense of FOMO about not being there, it wasn't about just missing people or pressing the flesh or seeing old friends. It really made me think about when I was 6 years old and I wanted to be a doctor. So I was one of those kids that had a thirst for knowledge. I admired my dad and all that he did. And when I was 6 years old, I picked up his PDR and started reading through it. There were some things in there that are appropriate for a 6 year old, some things that are not. So I remember it was the green book at the bottom of the shelf that I was not supposed to pull out and read. And while my parents were gone, I would read. So, that curiosity didn't go away as I got older. When I was a teenager, my dad used to get the CME magazine that used to come, I think it was monthly. And we would sit down and we would talk about it over dinner. I don't mean like a formal dinner, I mean like hanging out at the kitchen table and we would chit chat about all the things inside the magazine. I'd ask questions and he'd answer them. I really had this real thirst for medicine and the things that I wanted to do. And I really wanted to be a doctor, but as most things happen. You go to college, you find other things that you're passionate about or that you think you're passionate about, and I didn't go to medical school, but I do have to say that the first job that I did land right out of college was being a medical adjuster. So it really was something that was just kind of always in the background. And it was a great ride, right? I did that. I ended up getting married, staying at home, raising my kids, stay-at-home mom, doing the things, right? Driving the kids around, getting the first minivan. And then my husband and I got on to that crazy ass ride that we will call cancer. That roller coaster went up, it went down, it flicked us sideways, it banged our heads, it did all the things that you could do to a young couple. And during that time, I was able to use some of that medical knowledge that I had to help us kind of inch our way through the system at the time. Unfortunately, we knew when he got his diagnosis that he would pass away, so we were very purposeful in living a life that we wanted to live. We defined success. So when I look back at that time, I think that knowledge helped us along, but it also helped us to create the life we wanted to live and to leave a legacy for our kids in that same way. When things finally calmed down in my life, now I'm a single mom of three. I didn't know what to do. So, after 9 years of being a stay-at-home mom, things were running through my head. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I didn't really think that I could take the time to go into some sort of medical field just because, again, I had three kids under the age of 12 years old at home, and it was just too much. So, I entered seminary because that was something that I could do. I wanted to serve people. I had a love for the of theology and spirituality. So I go to seminary. I meet a really great guy and we decide to get married. And funny thing is, he was in health IT at the time. Didn't really know what that meant. We talked about what health IT really was, and it dawned on me that my late husband had actually been using some of that technology in the VA way back in the early 2000s. So it was it felt a little serendipitous for us to get together and to talk, and we really clicked. We hit it off, we get married. And I stayed at home for some more, right? You get married, you want to provide some stability. So that's what I did with my children. And he was taking a business trip right during the time, not too long after we got married. And I said, hey, I've been listening to what you're doing. It sounds a little bit interesting. Always have been a technophile. Love technology, love medicine. Like, what a great way to like maybe go and see what's going on in the world while I'm thinking about what we're going to do when we're done. When I'm done with the seminary course and, what's going to transpire after that. So, in 2011, I made my first trip to HIMSS. I was just a wife on a business trip, just checking stuff out. And in all truthfulness, I had never been to any sort of conference bigger than a bridal show at that point in my life. And I remember walking into the Orlando Convention Center and all the big glass walls and going onto the showroom floor and seeing just the massive amounts of what was going on. The interoperability showcase, the epic booth, that's always epic. It was incredible. My mind was like, wow. But what was even more incredible than just those visuals was the fact that there were 31,000 people there who also had a passion for technology and had a passion for medicine, wanted to bring it together and to improve healthcare. I knew the journey that I had taken in healthcare with my late husband, and I knew that parts of it could be improved. And at that moment, the HIT bug, it bit me, and it bit me hard. It bit me so hard that when I got back home, I took a hard right and I disenrolled from my seminary classes. I didn't re-enroll for the next semester, and I enrolled in health informatics courses because I found my people, I found my tribe, I found my passion, I found my mission. I have been using my voice as a patient advocate for many years, but I also know that when I left seminary, something that had to happen is that I had to be passionate and I had to feel like I was helping people. When I got into health IT, that's exactly what I was doing. It was on the back end, it's not in front of the public and everybody's eyes, but the work that I do makes a difference in patients' lives. And for that, I am ever so grateful to be in this industry. So while I'm having some super FOMO moments about not going to HIMSS because I do miss that punch of energy and that injection of this is why I do what I do, and looking around and marveling at all the innovation that's there, I know that this time I gotta stay home. So I thought that I would just give a couple of tips because I know that people, this is going to be your first or your second time going to HIMSS. And I just want to give you 5 tips on how you could use AI at HIMSS this year. These are things that I planned on doing, so I thought I'd pass them along to you because I'm not going to be using them. Number one, plan your days. Now, if you don't plan your days at HIMSS, let me tell you, you will get sucked into this weird time warp and you're going to miss out on some things. So, really plan out everything that you can do. You know what? The AI pre-conference is completely sold out. I mean, like, that is amazing. But just don't worry. That's not the only opportunity that you're going to have to learn about AI. There's 160 plus additional sessions on AI that will happen at HIMSS this year. Um, I encourage you to fit one in. Just fit one session on AI in, even if you feel like you're too busy. I guarantee it'll be worth your time. It'll get your creative juices flowing. What you can do is to take those schedules and drop them into a chatbot, and that chatbot and I've done it, will create a little schedule for you. Ask it to create what you need in a table and label the columns, however you want to label them. Number two, wear comfortable shoes. Now, this is not really an AI thing, but it's something I got to tell you because it may look like carpet out there when you start walking, but let me tell you, it's concrete. So by the end of the day, those dogs are barking. Let me tell you, if you're not wearing great shoes on your feet. And you know what? There's some awesome looking kicks out there right now. So go try, get some before you hit the plane on Sunday. Number three, network, network, network. This is the best place to network. One of my tricks that I do while I'm there is I take pictures and have the person's name on there. Well, you can actually take those photos if you've got a paid version of some of these chatbots, and it can do some research for you online about the person. And you know what else you could do? Just write down what you learned about the person and ask the chatbot to help you write a really an amazing email. Customize it with the knowledge that you know. Just don't take whatever spits out. Customize it to your voice. Number four, take notes to jog your memory. And what you can do is to take your physical notes. You can upload the transcripts actually into one of the chat bots, have it read it, and then you can get a summary of what happened in that session, plus the notes that you took in relevance to how that particular session applied to your organization, your company, because we know that good conference goers always bring back information for the rest of the team. That's a privilege of going, right? What you can also do is once you've got your ideas down, you can also have that chat bot create a presentation for you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Last thing, and the most important thing is number five, practice self care while you are at HIMSS. One thing that we do is we take empty water bottles, we pack in snacks, whether it be a candy bar, a granola bar, man, an energy bar, whatever, pack it in there. When you get to your hotel, you take out your snacks, throw one in your backpack, take that empty water bottle, fill it up because you need to stay hydrated. That's going to be healthy and help you. And then when you get there and you are so busy and you're running from place to place to place, you can always find 5 minutes to sit down by yourself, eat your snack. And I tell you to take snacks because I will guarantee that you will run out of time. You'll miss the food. You won't have time to eat, but at least you'll be able to nourish yourself because you've got this bar that you've brought with you. Sit down, have a snack, drink some water, and then practice a little measured breathing. What that is you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold it for 4 counts, you let it go for 4 counts, and then you hold it for 4 counts. And you just do that, and you will notice your shoulders are going to come down a little bit. You're going to feel a little bit looser. Your mind's going to thank you for this. And as you're doing that, I'd like you to just think about something. What was it the first time that you came to HIMSS that made you so passionate to go back and to continue to do your job to the highest of your ability? What made you excited? Remember that feeling, bring it back up because that's going to give that little spark that you can put in your heart to carry you through the rest of your day. It's a great trick. I love it. I've learned it. It's part of meditation. Use it because we all get overwhelmed by so many people. Um, the first year I went, it was 30,000 people. Last year, it was 35,000 people. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 40 to 45,000 people this year. So it's just really one of those things that you should do once, twice, maybe 3 times a day while you're there. Take a moment to reset, relax. Remember that measured breathing, that really, really helps. All right. Well, those are my 5 tips on how you can use AI to get the most out of HIMSS 2024. And while you're doing that self care, one thing that you might want to do is get ChatGPT or one of the chatbots to write you an affirmation for the day. So that when you're feeling tired and when you're feeling beat down, that you might actually have something that you can keep in your mind to help keeping you lifted up. All right. Well, thank you again. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to miss you all, but I will catch you here again next week where we're going to be talking more about generative AI and how it's being used in healthcare. Be safe out there.